Turkish authorities have arrested 3 YouTubers after they were spotted interviewing people on the street. The content creators were asking people how the country's current economic situation was impacting their lives, which isn't exactly on par with the types of conversations that Turkey's leadership wants to be having right now. In fact, I'm sure they'd prefer that you only say wonderful things about their president, who recently called social media a threat to democracy. And as it turns out, he must have passed his message on to the police as well, because 3 YouTube personalities in Turkey were arrested for interviewing people in the Antalya province. Many are concerned in Turkey right now because the value of the country's currency has continued to fall with no clear signs of stopping. Despite the government of Turkey being defined as a democratic republic, Turkey still keeps laws which are seen as undemocratic or authoritarian, such as prohibiting minorities to get a primary education in their mother tongue and arresting people who talk about how awful the economy is. In a series of tweets, the YouTubers said that they were only interviewing people on the streets because they wanted to make the voices of the public heard. One of the YouTubers named Hassan, who runs the YouTube channel called Kendi Muhabir, which translates to self-correspondent, said in a tweet translated to English, "You are being arrested for handing a microphone to the public. You go out and you are taken out of your bed like a terrorist in less than a week with a dawn operation. But the AKP member you are complaining about the same crime is not even summoned to testify, let alone being arrested. Nobody should talk to me about justice." And according to a report from the Financial Times, the Turkish lira has dropped 40% since September. Along with Hassan, 2 other men were also arrested, and their names are Turan and Arif. Along with Hassan, both of these men have also been interviewing people on the street about the nation's economy and the impact that it's having on their finances. A 4th YouTuber had also tweeted out that he had not been arrested, but that the police had contacted him in regards to interviewing people about the same matter. Local news outlets reported that the YouTubers were accused of denigrating the state and government. Recently, Turkey's representative for Reporters Sans Frontieres, which is an organization that promotes the right to freedom of information, told the press that while these independent journalists could use some better training with how to conduct interviews that don't break local rules, there is still a benefit to hear the concerns of everyday citizens, especially on the street interviews like that. As I mentioned earlier, Turkey's president is not a big fan of social media, so this poses a big problem for content creators and journalists who are just trying to share information. In a recent speech, he called social media one of the main sources of threats to today's democracy. He then said that he would be cracking down on the internet media to fight disinformation and propaganda. And what have I said before on this channel, folks? Evil people see evil in everyone except for themselves. And according to Al Jazeera, prison sentences for these crimes could land you up to 5 years behind bars. Now, the sad thing is that these 3 YouTubers being arrested isn't even the first time that this has happened. According to the Stockholm Center for Press Freedom, 72 journalists are in prison right now in Turkey, and 89 are still awaiting trial. As far as we know, these 3 YouTubers have been released, but they are apparently still being watched under house arrest. Hassan from earlier had done a live stream on Monday and said that after being arrested, his home was raided by police and they took away his family's phones and computers. The 4th YouTuber, who was contacted but not arrested, later tweeted to praise his fellow YouTubers and said, "Detaining the journalist who tried to make the voice of the people on the street heard in the palace by the dawn raid is the feat of those who see democracy as a train. We will not be silent. We will continue to talk for those who spend the night hungry." But I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, though, because that's all the time that we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.